kindergarten friends. Are you ready to hear a story today about science? This is a fun book because it's fiction and nonfiction all in one. It's realistic fiction. So, before we read our story, I want to share with you some science words. Do you see that picture? That is a picture of a seed. Can you say seed? A seed is a part of a plant. We plant seeds to get fruits and vegetables and flowers. Do you remember where seeds go? In the ground, yes. Another word you might hear is root. Can you say root? The roots, remember, are the things that grow below the ground to collect water for the plant. They act like straws, so roots can stretch and grow underground. Another word you're going to hear in science is sprout. Can you say sprout? Sprout. Sprout is when a plant starts to grow above the ground. It's a tiny sprout with leaves starting to grow. And another word in our book today is bud. Can you say bud? Bud is the part of the plant where the flower comes from. In order for the flower to bloom, you need a bud. Sometimes if you go outside, you might notice on the trees, the end of each limb or branch, there are little buds starting to grow. Flowers have buds before they open. Bud. And of course, I bet you can figure out this word from the picture. Flower, that's right, flower. Say flower. Flower is that beautiful part of the plant that opens up. And sometimes after a flower comes a fruit. Fruits come from flowers. Some other flowers are just flowers and they're pollinators. So, seed, root, sprout, bud, flower. See if you can listen for those words in our book today. This story is called Once There Was a Seed. I want you to listen for how a seed grows into a plant in this book called the life cycle. Plants have life cycles. See if you can listen for how plants grow. Grandpa loves growing things. He says he has a green thumb. He says I have a green thumb too. Having a green thumb means being good at growing things. Doesn't mean you have an actual green thumb. Today we're going to plant some seeds. First, we push the seeds into some soil. Not too deep. Grandpa says that seeds need 3 things to grow. They need water, warmth, and light. Where do you think the warmth comes from? The sun. That's right. Worm says she's slurping. Next, a little shoot appears and grows out of the seed. The shoot grows upward. And shoot might look familiar from one of our words. Shoot is the same thing as sprout. When it reaches the light, it starts to sprout leaves. Look, nice and healthy. Oh, and there are the roots starting to grow below the seed. Grandpa says plants are just like us. They need food to grow. We get our food at meal times. Plants make their own food from water, light, and air. Yum. Below the soil, the roots are getting bigger and spreading further. So your fingers are like roots. If you spread them out, That's how the roots go underground too. Above the soil, the plant is growing taller. Amazing. When the plant is big enough, some new buds appear. These buds turn into flowers. Wow, pink and spotty. Flowers come in many colors and shapes. Some smell sweet too. Grandpa says that his flowers look and smell so good that he might win a prize at the flower show. But I think it is so that insects will notice them. My favorite. And those bees are coming to pollinate the flowers. Bees are really important. And flowers are really important too, to help the bees. Flowers contain pollen. When an insect visits a flower, pollen sticks to its body. I'm all dusty. When the insect flies to another flower, the pollen goes too. It's not dust, it's pollen. One flower swaps pollen with another flower. Then the flower dies, but it leaves new seeds behind. Apple seeds are called pips. Chestnuts are seeds too. Ouch! Before seeds grow into new plants, they need to find their own patch of soil. Often they are carried by the wind. Sometimes a bird helps them. Sometimes a squirrel helps them. Hey, give that back right now. Wow. So seeds travel and then they get planted in the ground. And sometimes Grandpa helps them. Out you come. And he's replanting seeds too. And that's the end of our story. So did you hear how a plant starts to grow from seed to sprout to plant to buds to flowers, and then the flowers have seeds in them too, and then the cycle starts all over again. So for this activity today, you're going to see if you can put in order how a plant grows in its life cycle. I hope you enjoyed the story.